Right, guys, welcome back. This is Above Average FPL. My name's Adam, and as always, joined by Baker. Evening, mate.
Evening, mate. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been about 24 hours, 36 hours, something like that. Depends on, what was it, about 11 o'clock yesterday? We
Yeah, that
disappeared.
was a drive home.
Long, mate, funnily enough.
That's long in a car on your own after a night out the night before.
I'm not joking. For anybody who doesn't know, obviously we had the golf day. Everyone knows we had the golf day. And yeah, so I drove back the following day. But I found this drink in Tesco, this like Get More Vits, it's called. It's like an electrolytes type drink, but not like Lucozade that gives you like sugar, energy, stuff like that. So
It sounds like an ad.
it
Just
sounds
sound how good your voice is for voiceovers, but
this is not.
we need to get some
an advert.
sponsorship and get these ads because you're so good at them.
It's not an ad, but genuinely the best thing I've ever drunk post a session because I didn't feel hungover at all yesterday. Felt terrible today at about 12 o'clock. I felt knackered,
which is good when you're driving for like 9 hours.
It does help. Yes, exactly. It's perfect. But yeah, got loads of food down me and everything. So yeah, it was pretty settled before I left. So it was good. It was good. Yeah. But the whole weekend was good in the end.
A whole week. Well, not a whole weekend.
The start of the weekend was good. The rest of the weekend's been absolutely horrific.
Today was not good for me and you, mate. That was not good.
That was terrible. But what do we do? I mean, to be honest, I'm at a point now where I feel like I wasn't really caring, and now I'm so beyond caring about it. I'm like in the worst position possible because I should care like every week as we do this, but I actually don't care.
Yeah. Well, I think look, FPL is a game of paths, isn't it? And some people do play sort of week to week, and some people just set themselves on journeys, and sometimes the journeys that you take are of your own choosing, and sometimes they're forced on you. Injuries and changes of fixtures and all sorts of things can happen in that world. So for you, you were put on a journey where you kind of had to wildcard early,
sure,
and then you chose a path which was you still were going to free hit.
Correct.
That was your path in terms of that. But at the time you did that, you didn't know what fixtures would fall into 34 and 37.
Correct.
So you gambled, and the gamble hasn't paid.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Like even when the fixtures came out, though, it didn't actually feel like there was a terrible thing there because the big teams were the ones that I wanted the most of. I wasn't so fussed about the Bournemouths. Yeah. I say the Bournemouths, the Palaces, the Evertons. Like I didn't really care because up until very recently, like Palace's attack has been pretty muted, and I know that's kind of timed well with obviously the return of Elise and Eze, but at the same time they've had bit part in sort of contributions in the last few weeks, and even then I didn't feel so uncomfortable. But I did have a quick look tonight, and maybe doing this 5 days ago might have been even more beneficial, but. For the first time this season, they've topped over 2xG like 3 times in 6 weeks, which they just didn't do in the past.
It's a perfect storm, but what I'm saying is you didn't know that in game week 27 was going to happen. Like you didn't know that, like so. Therefore, your path got chosen, and you've reacted the best you could to it. Yeah. I was in a world where my team, it looked like it was better to wildcard late, so I would be like, right, I'm gonna Freehit 29. I will be in a position where my team looked really good this week. Like I had 10, and not just icky doubles. Like I had 10 really, really good doublers, and I've either got Haaland or Palmer coming off as my 11th man. Like it's in a really, really good position. But things fell unbelievably this week. So not only, yes, do we have Elise back, and Palace happen to be in a really good position and right trajectory, but we also that they play West Ham, who happened to play Thursday night in the Europa, happened to score early, which meant that they were up, they were against it, and then they go out of Europe, and then they've got nothing to play for, and so it perfect storms, and that's exactly what happened. So, and it was really easy to pick them if you're on free hit because Kuna got injured.
Yes.
So all of those things happened to collide and present this incredible opportunity, which might have always been the best opportunity, but just happened to play out as good a day as anyone in the history of Dreamland could have had. This is a day where, if you play FPL and you free hit it this weekend, you'll remember this forever. Like this is it. You'll attach your memory to a chip. Do you know what I mean? You'll feel good about it forevermore. And if you didn't, you probably won't feel good about it anymore.
I will remember it. I think I will remember it.
And that's
but not for the
but
right
that's why we
reasons.
play this game. We play this game to somehow end up on a journey, and it turns to work out. And if you do happen to get it, then it's great. And if it doesn't, it's a cruel mistress, mate. And
I'm trying to think of a
get on it.
scenario in the last 4 years where I have actually been on that side of variance, like properly. There's been a couple. I'm not going to hide away from
Yeah.
those, but like really, like game week 36 a
Yeah.
couple of years ago, KDB captain, that was nice, obviously, but it made me feel great until, and we've spoken about him before, but like Andy Martin blast his triple captain that day, and I can't remember it for good reasons after that.
For that reason.
And I've
I
had,
just
I've
think
had
that
others
is
where I had like
natural.
the Cancelo 18-pointer against Newcastle. So, and I captained him then for 36 points. The last goal he scored before that was the season before against Newcastle in the same fixture. So those things, they do stick. But outside of those two, I can't remember a real significant positive moment that I've had, which is like, but I can remember all the negative ones if you think, like a triple captain.
But it's
Trent
so
in
easy to do
26
that, isn't
and,
it?
you know,
It's so
all that
easy
sort of
to
stuff.
do that. But I also think it's because we attribute so much. We always attribute when it's not right to bad luck. Like you do, in that sense. And when it goes well, you don't want to call it good luck because then what's the point in playing in this game? So therefore, we almost exhaust that so much quicker. Like I feel like that way. I definitely felt like that way this season. I felt like it last season. And I kind of felt really unlucky the season before. But I played my wild card like season before last in game week 26, and at that time I was 800th in the world.
Yeah, I
right?
remember.
And I didn't feel lucky for 26 weeks. Didn't feel lucky for 26 weeks. But I must have been incredibly lucky to have been 800th in the bloody world. But all I remember is that I then played my wild card and had 11 red arrows in a row, and blew it. So I do think we do attribute the bad luck so much more than we do, the good luck to it. We talk about when it pays, relish it, and that's kind of like it. Yeah, I'm not in for begrudging those that are celebrating it this week because it's incredible.
I am. Fuck them. No, I'm not really. I'm joking. I'm joking. I just don't know. Again, I mean, like, Sertalp's in the chat. Hi, Sertalp. But I was looking at FPL optimized, and I'm literally 150 points, negative 150 points from the prime sample, in terms of variance. Which, if anybody is higher than that, please just comment, prove it, and I'll send you a mug, a coaster. I'll send you the whole lot, because I genuinely feel like I've been like the unluckiest manager this year out of anyone that I know.
Yeah,
and I'm not making all the great decisions. I'm not making great decisions. No, I'm not making it up.
It is there what you are there, but I do think there is this place where, because you're willing to be brave, because you're willing to take risks and do certain things, then there is an ability that you can be an outlier in the positive and in the negative. And in this situation, it's been bloody negative. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, and almost like then when you shout about it, people are like, well, I don't really hear it because I'm not seeing that anywhere else. But it is true. It's 100% true. You're like 150 points below what you should be expected, which is insane. There's been this season some unbelievable paths that, whether it be content creators are on it, whether it be reviews predicted it, other models have predicted it, that have really landed so well. Like Dwight McNeil last week, review starts saying that, and Dwight McNeil scores a 30-yard banger today, and you're like, what the what?
Did you notice? I haven't heard any complaints about content creators this week on the timeline. It's very funny that. Very interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Very interesting.
But
how good was this chip then? Let's quantify it. So we will head over to live FPL. So if you did not use a chip this week, and I've ignored all the other ones for the sake of it, I know there were some bench boosts out there, but if you did not use a chip, and that was 68% of the top 10K did not use a chip, average 39 points. Obviously, it's lower in the overall stats.
39 points. Like,
No chip.
Which we know.
Yeah.
Because that's basically us.
Yeah, exactly. But if you were on a free hit, 21% of them average 62.7. So that's 22 points ahead on the free hit.
And
There's more. And there's more to come.
Everyone's got 11 doublers in free hit, so everyone's got 11 players to go.
Yeah, it's just insane. So fight on the timeline. Free hit 34 versus free hit 29. Like, there's no debates, right? It's just objectively. I would have taken, like, in hindsight, taken 4 or 5 points or whatever I would have got with my team in 29 if I'd have just left it, and taken my 70 points this week or whatever I might have got, because I would have had Eze, I would have had Mateta, I would have had Elise, because those are the three people that I would have. And so yeah, I mean, well done.
But enjoy it.
Enjoy it. If you win FPL from it, then fair play. If not, then you're just another loser, like the rest of us. But and someone said Grumpy Adam on a Sunday. I do enjoy that.
Grumpy Adam on the wine.
Grumpy Adam on the wine. You see that? Yeah, I'm on the wine. So
I'm straight water this evening.
Emre has dropped us a super chat saying Mateta and Eze non-free hit owners. This is our game week. Yeah, I mean, but as I say, there was a lot of ways that you could do that, because do you want Mateta and Eze going forward? No, not really. There are better ones to go beyond that. So if you didn't have a wild card, how many people would be on like a triple up Crystal Palace at this time, when you're looking at, they've got another good fixture next week. I think it's Fulham, and then they've got United or something like that.
Well, which could be pretty good.
Seems like it could be okay.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough. The Mateta one is interesting because, realistically, unless you took Haaland out this week for him, so there's like 3 ways. You took Haaland out for him this week. You don't have Solanke.
Mm-hmm.
You do get Mateta, or you don't have Darwin, and you do have Mateta. And if you didn't have Darwin and you did have Mateta this week on non-free hit, you're in the money. You still have had a really good week.
Yeah.
That's been the biggie. That's the other part about the free hit, non-free hit. So many non-free hitters had Salah and Darwin.
Yeah.
And
I think obviously a load of free hitters did have Salah as well. I think a few may have stayed away from Darwin because of minutes.
It was easy.
It was less. Yeah. It was more risky to go away from Salah from an ownership perspective. Much easier to do it on a Darwin because Jota was back. I think. Yeah. So it kind of worked that way around.
A lot more free hitters were ballsy enough to captain Eze this week as well.
Yes.
Because the sum of the parts of where they were at.
Yep. Fair play.
So add that all game in, mate, and it's like I say, it's been phenomenal. But the idea that it would be, it's never this much. It's never this much in terms of an average, ever. You know what I mean? Like normally when we look at these,
this could be like 40 points.
We've done many of them. We've done many of these where we look at these whenever it's big free hit weeks. If you go back to any previous pods we've ever done and look at the free hit weeks, it's like 10s, 15 max at the end. To already be 23 points, it's literally the greatest free hit week I've ever seen.
Yeah. Mad. Okay, well, let's swing back to, and talking of swinging back, let's swing back to Thursday, where we all descended upon Newbury, or a bunch of us did. So 24 of us descended on Newbury for the first above average FPL Golf Day. Honestly, it's probably the best 48 hours I've had in a while. It's absolutely outstanding. The course was good, and the company was, just brilliant. So 24 of us there. I'm not going to name everyone, but
loads in the chat.
There's loads in the chat.
Known.
And these are all the photos from the first tee. So everyone looking very smiley, everyone very happy to play. People were a bit more frustrated a little bit later on down the line, but the standard of golf was outstanding across pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone again for coming. We've got some really good feedback. Everyone was really complimentary of how it went, and they really enjoyed themselves. I mean, again, like check in the chat, check on Twitter, all of that sort of stuff. You know, I think we're really proud of it as an event.
Really proud.
And you know, we need to shout out ESA. So ESA are the Entertainment Sports Agency, and that's run by Renal Medina. So Renal is now a good friend of ours. They are an entertainment and sports agency, and what they're doing is they're leveraging the power of sport to help businesses find new commercial opportunities and promoting personal development and things like that. Basically, trying to make a positive difference to society. So what Renal and his team does is they speak to companies, speak to organizations, and you know, they help to arrange these kind of events. So if you're interested in something like that, then you know, get in touch with us, and I can get you in touch with Renal, and you know, he will be helping us with our next golf day as well. And so, you know, one that we're really looking forward to. Yeah, and the weather was pretty good, apart from about 20 minutes where we got hammered on, which was outstanding.
We got away with it in our group. We were last group.
Oh, you were in a halfway house.
Halfway house, just as the rain came down. So yeah, and then on the turn there was a little hut at the tee, and we're just staying here.
Ah, nice.
So we did get away with it a little bit in the rain side of it, but it's just a really cool day. And like I say, everyone played fantastically. I mean, I think, you know, one from last got 38 points on the day, which is just absurd.
Yeah.
And yeah, just good fun, really good fun. You know, look, the thing is, FPL's like, we're all data nerds in that sense, so there's a good chance there's lots of good golfers as well. In the standard of golf, there were some really good ones, and you know, I think I'd like to hope as well there were ones that were, you know, we had like as many 28 handicappers as we had finger handicappers, and everyone did well. We'll pair people up with good people. We played a scramble format, so you know, even if you were 28 handicapper, you got to play with a goodie to help you put yourself in a good position. It was good fun.
It was good fun, and what you're seeing
and
on
we
the
had a good
screen,
night out.
Firing through some photos of the day, and this is all sort of on the golf course stuff. Obviously, beyond this, we went out into Newbury, which is one of the quietest towns I've ever been in, and
really big town for a really quiet town.
Yeah,
but the cheapest beers in the world.
Genuinely, so it was hilarious because I remember. So John Olchin, who was there, what a guy John is, by the way. He was there, and I remember the first round he went to buy, literally pulled 2 20s out of his pocket or his wallet, and the girl was £9.90, and he was like, "What?"
For like 4 beers.
4 beers. He was like, "What?" 4 beers for less than a tenner in walkabout between 7 and 9, and the place had, outside of the 15 of us, it had about 21 people in total. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. These photos we're seeing, I think all of them, and some of the entertainment in the evening was put on by, you can see him in the chat, FPL Soccer Crazy. You'll see him on Twitter. His name is Maggot. I'll let anybody go and ask him why his name is Maggot. But you know, a man's a good man where he turns up, takes photos all day for us, and then in the evening got told off by the bouncer for doing flips and cartwheels. Sensational.
It was brilliant. It was so
what a man.
It was so much fun. Yeah, it was great. And
I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it again. And if you are interested in getting involved in more, I've put the link back down in the description for the form. So if you do want to get involved, and that's obviously on the YouTube, anyone on audio, you know, head over to the YouTube. The link for a form to get involved with the golf days going forward, and you'll start receiving emails from myself as we start talking about the next event coming up in September. And but we did have some winners. So we had quite funnily, me and you took home a prize each, which was quite cheeky.
So let me tell you a story, right? I walked in, and she was like, "How'd you get on?" Yeah. And I was like, she's like, "Have you got?" Well, I said to me, "Have you got a trophy?" She was like, I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Did you buy that trophy?" Yeah. She was like, "So you bought yourself a trophy?"
I haven't told the wife.
I was like, "I suppose I have."
Yeah, and Oh yeah, because you won the fireball par 3 nearest the pin.
I won the fireball par 3.
So I had to give you a bottle of
Took
fireball.
double fireballs, so I got onto the red tees.
If you haven't seen those, get to Twitter. Those videos are on there. I think. Is your one on there? Mine's on there.
And you also won.
I also won the nearest the pin as well. Yes, but there were other winners. So Di Thomas hit the pin on one of the I think it was the 5th, and finished about 6 inches from the hole. Yeah, top that Di. And then Andy Goodland, the pro, he smashed one of the biggest drives I've ever seen down 13 against the wind, about 295 against the wind, something like that.
I hit my second, and I was about 40 yards past him after my second.
Yeah.
I felt like I hit 2 good shots.
Yeah. And so, we had obviously we had winners in the competition itself, the scramble competition. And so 3rd place was Andy Mack and Andy Goodland. So shout out to them. They didn't win any prizes, but they won. They got 3rd place, which was amazing. And then 2nd was John Peake and Joseph Crilly. So shout out to you guys. And then the winners were Renal Medina and Rich Clark. They got 46 points. There were some little niche things. This is not Bandit 46 points. We had some niche things, some yellow ball double points on stuff as well. So it was, you had to keep the yellow ball in play, but they absolutely smashed it. They won it on countback versus John and Joseph. By the
second round of countback, last 3 holes.
Last 3 holes. Yeah, we had full drama, didn't we? Because we almost announced the wrong winners.
We did, but we're professionals. We wouldn't have done that.
Full VAR and checked it out, but we got the right one. So yeah, Renal and Rich, fantastic pairing, and yeah, well done to you guys, and well done to everyone. Because as I say, there's even a few guys that at that 28 level, it was a tough day, and lots of shots.
Won a couple of spoons.
A couple of spoons as well. So John and Sam, shout out to you guys. And what else happened? Oh, so yeah, and also you had like David as well. So David comes across from Belfast. You come across from Belfast? I think it was.
Yeah.
And he sleeps in Heathrow the night before. Comes and hires a set of clubs to play with us. Loses a club, which gets handed in. Thank God for that.
Nice.
He then comes out with us on the night out. Then disappears off to the Bristol for Saturday night, and then runs the 10K that FPL Leah had organised this morning. Absolute animal.
Absolute animal.
So shout out to him, and shout out to Joseph, who lost his keys as well. He's lost his car key on the golf course. Like
it all happens. It all happens in the average FPL Golf Day, and no more stories get told.
Sam broke his key as well. Sam Price broke his key. Brilliant. It was good fun. And
what goes on the golf day stays on the golf day.
Yeah. We'll move back. Let's move back to FPL now. So thanks to you lot for listening. We'll timestamp this bit, and if you've already skipped this, then too late. Yeah. So here's my team. Just very quickly running through it. I obviously have Raya, the 2-6 specialist that got 10 points. Thanks very much. Gabriel 6 points. Vardiol still to play against Brighton. Van Dijk, Liverpool can see goals. But he always pops up in a double game. We can get a goal apparently. So let's hope that happens.
Still time.
I was actually priced out of going Boomo to Bruno Fernandes, which was quite a lucky thing in the end. Boomo gets me 9 points. Saka with 3. I've got Palmer to play. Salah captain. Haaland, Darwin, and Hoyland. Really not liking the idea of having Hoyland in my team at the moment. I'm genuinely contemplating like a -12 just to rip shit up in future weeks. And
I mean, you've got to like him more than having fucking Darwin Núñez in the team, mate. Like he's doing his hitting.
He probably plays more minutes, which is about it right now.
Yeah.
He didn't even look like he was going to score against Coventry today. And so there I am. I think on like 33 points or something. Shit, it's just bad, man. It's just bad.
Just bad with Raya and Bumo as well. Like that's good hits against the crowd. And
well, this is it. Like Raya and Bumo took me to about 7 points ahead of expected. And I'm now 20 points behind expected. Cheers, Palace. Let's move to your team.
Yeah. Killer. Yeah, my last, I was always bringing Eze in. My last decision Saturday morning was Luis Diaz or Trent. And I went Diaz. And obviously, Trent scores. Uh, and yeah, that's where I am. I'm not much better. Neto in goal gets 1 point. Munoz, Emerson gets there first. Everyone announced on Twitter, Munoz goal, Munoz goal. I was like, yes, can't believe it. That's going to get me. That literally would have just saved everything. And nah, no. Emerson nicks it in first.
Not
Gabriel
allowed nice things.
Saliba. Yeah, Gabriel Saliba, at least they sorted us out. That's not a good thing for us personally. Diaz, Saka, Salah. I mean, come on, Salah cap again. Morning, I was kind of like Salah. And I just felt like, look, they need the response. Trust Liverpool, especially trusting Liverpool when I got triple attack. I was like, you start to play out in your head. Oh, I could have the Liverpool front three, in a double game week. And yes, including captaincy, they got 5 points between me for having the so-called first choice front three all season. Yeah, Eze with 11 points, and then Haaland still to go, or Palmer, depending on whether he's okay or not. And Solanke with six did he end up? They got no bonus in the end.
No.
That's really regular with Solanke. That's been, a problem to him all season. Is even when he does tick along, he rarely gets. I think it's only been twice this season. He's got all three bonus because he misses.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Villa also scored 3 goals, which doesn't really help.
Yeah, but none by the striker.
This is true. Watkins still beat him.
Yeah.
Watkins still beat him there. He did get an assist.
It's not 2 assists.
2 assists.
Yeah.
It's like a goal anyway. It's just behind a goal anyway, isn't it?
Not for a striker.
Well, 9 and 9, 18 versus 24. You just need
24,
one big chance.
6 is a lot. 6 is a fair old bit.
Well, okay, that's true. You missed a couple of chances, I guess.
Yeah. So, looking forward to the rest of this game week, and I'm wildcard active. Weird wildcard active because it's like I might get some double rises. So, do I want to take them out? Do I not want to take them out? Pretty savvy though.
Do you think that do you think you're going to get another rise from Salah? Surely not.
People are pretty savvy. No, Salah's done now. Salah went up last night, so that got me ticked off. He's not going to go up twice more, is he?
Okay.
So yeah, Salah. I'll move Salah out tonight.
So Darwin was one, wasn't he? Darwin was one, but then again,
I still need Darwin to go up one.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to.
That ain't happening.
Yeah,
not after today. That's not happening. I could do a Salah. I could do a Darwin going up one, and I could do a Saliba going up one more. At the moment, if I sell them, yeah,
just not players that are not doubling now. So it's tough for them to move. You think you might as well just get your players in that you want to.
Yeah, who's going to want to go spend 6 million on Saliba now? Do you know what I mean? This part of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not quick enough to offset the number of people that will start moving those guys out.
Yeah, agreed.
But we'll see.
Cool. Where do we want to start on the weekend's games? I mean, we've watched as much as we can, I guess.
Let's do Palace, mate. Let's just.
Which game is the Palace game? Palace game should be that one. Should be that one.
Yeah, so West Ham.
West Ham literally rolled over.
Yeah.
Literally just rolled over. It's just like there's only been like 3 times. I had a look, right? There's only been like 3 times where Palace have scored 4 goals across 2 game weeks. 3 or 4 times max. And they scored 4 goals in 35 minutes.
4 goals in 35 minutes.
Right.
Like it's just like I say, it's utter dreamland. And it's perfection, in terms of it. It's the
I've got a bottle of Fireball here, and I'm considering knocking it back.
All the boys on the pitch. It's relatively a new manager still in that world. The team that are beached have just been coming off a European loss. It was all fit into one nice, neat little package, and they smashed it.
14 shots between those 3.
Yeah, so many, but it's a brilliant front three. Like as a front three, you got those 3. We're Spurs fans. Timo, Son, and Brennan, or Mateta, Elise, and Eze.
I would take Elise, Eze, and Son. Probably.
Probably just have the free.
I wouldn't
Like,
take. I wouldn't
but
take
as a
Mateta.
free,
If you want to take
do you know
Mateta
what I mean?
over
As a
Son,
free, if I was selling you a forward line, it's a really good forward line. You know, it's likely
it's
that,
fine.
that it's
Like
going to
Mateta's
get
a
it's going to
fine.
get
Mateta's
poached,
a
isn't it?
fine striker. Let's not overhype him because he's had a few good games, right? I mean,
But he's hard to play against. You can't have an off day on him. Like when we played Palace, Mickey van der Ven had an unbelievable day. Like he was so good against Mateta, but he had to be. Like he's massive. Like he beats people up, quite old fashioned in that type of way of playing, and it's perfect for the ballers. Yeah, like I say, it all sat nicely. They'll continue to tick along. I think there is even an argument, like you say, even on wildcard. You know, is if you wanted to be looking 3-5-2, have him perfectly, use him. Do I think many people are bringing him in? No,
no.
I don't think we will. You know, um, that's it, isn't it? But he's if you've got him already and you weren't on free hit, you leave him there. It gives you a prime way of looking at a sort of 3-5-2 angle.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting setup Glasner has actually. It's quite a very sort of a narrow. It's kind of a narrow 5-5 type thing going on, which is kind of clever, I guess.
Yeah, it's making
Muniz
the most of what they've got.
exactly
You know?
is really using the resources they have, and I guess
Yeah.
allowing Elise and Eze just to basically roam and wander around in that, middle third, forward middle third of the pitch is pretty cool actually. You can just let them do what they want.
Yeah. They're not pinned to the wings. Do you know what I mean? Of
Yeah.
doing that stuff. They're using the Mitchell and Emilo's world of it. It does work. Like that 36 game home to Man United on the Monday night.
Yeah, he'll just beat up. Well, I mean, Maguire. He'll just beat up Maguire.
Yeah. It's. I mean, they play Casemiro at centre back today.
I think. I mean, I know. Obviously, what happened today for United, but I don't want to judge lineups versus Coventry. Like Ten Hag, as bad as he is, did set up completely differently to how he would do in a Premier League game. So let's not pretend that it was. Oh, so they screwed up against Coventry. Oh, that must mean they're going to be the worst team in the league. It's not. They're not good, but they're not terrible like that.
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
They're good. They're unlikely. If you've got them and you're not on wild card, you keep them because the fixtures are good enough to keep them.
Yeah.
It's easier to keep Mateta. I think a lot of people are going to look at, if you've got Eze or Elise, they're going to look at obviously Spurs and Chelsea because they're doubling, and you've also got Gordon and you've got Bruno, for example, in the world to world. Up to you, but like understand that when they score, it is all going to go through these guys because the system sets up perfectly for them.
Yeah.
West Ham just straight avoid, don't go anywhere near. See you next season.
Yeah.
Easy.
Or Eze, yeah.
Is it? Where we
going? Let's go to the start. Let's go to the start. Where a Tonyless Brentford again just stepped up and smashed Luton to pieces.
Not even in the squad this week. It's weird now, isn't it? Like we guy often comments on us, Kiwi B. He put in the comments last week and was like, no, I think it's just the injury last week. And I was like, okay. It might still just be the injury, but it doesn't feel like it's just the injury, does it? And it almost feels like Brentford are reacting to it.
They're just like
it feels like Whistler's reacting to it. And Boomo, mate, like you should have had more points.
He was outstanding. He was absolutely outstanding. And even some of the work he was doing was ridiculous. Like even just sort of the dogged work that he was doing. He was he looked so calm about it, the way he was pressing around the pitch. And he does look so good on that. He does look so good at the moment. He's so.
I actually think strangely, we've talked so much about Tony, doesn't stick to position. It gets a bit weird. Boomer goes inside, goes there and does that. This one, he didn't. Boomer basically just stayed as a
right winger.
And he was much better with it.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, you looked at it and you were like, well, this is just a fantastic right winger. This is one of the best right wingers in the league. Like, literally, that's what it looks like watching him. And Wissa is a really good target man. And Lewis Potter, it just felt like they all knew what they were doing. Lewis Potter's like, yes, this is what I came here for. When he was in the Championship, he was a really good left winger, and then he's been mucked about as a wing back, stroke, come off the bench, do the stuff, and you're like, I've got two wingers, and I've got Wissa in the middle. It's a bit like what we just said with Palace. It's a good front three,
Yeah.
and everything else just needs to function.
And as you say, like with Tony not stepping out into these positions where he almost doesn't belong, and that has worked for him in the past. Watching Lewis Potter drive at that Luton defence was joyous. And to be fair to Luton, they've got absolutely no defenders right now. So
yeah,
it is really a case of, if you do have transfers that are outside of doubles and
Luton,
stuff, it's
so
terrible.
tough for them, mate, isn't it? It is so tough for
them.
It's also, obviously, Lewis Potter's being helped by the fact that Reggie's also suddenly the best left back in the world. Two big chances created, 4 key passes, 7 crosses, like, does all the stuff. What did you text me? 28 baseline.
28 baseline, yeah. Yeah, 28 baseline. It was just insane.
Sergio Reguilon, what a man.
Again, I just don't understand where that came from, because he was always so wasteful with us.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't get those completed crosses because his crossing was so bad. He wouldn't get the shots on target because his shots were so bad. And then suddenly now he's in a Brentford shirt. It's all dreamy.
Can we just blame Conte and Mourinho?
Say again?
Can we just blame Conte and Mourinho?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Stream down, stream down.
Stream's back up. Don't worry. Carry on.
Stream's back up.
So start again with Wolves and Arsenal.
Wolves and Arsenal. You got 10 points from a keeper. Wolves only got 0.14 XG. Arsenal, though, only did 1.28 XG as well. The other side, is so this was a game. I watched this game, and coming from the golf day, sitting in, not doing much in the evening, had it on, and it was horrible. It was horrible, and interestingly, I think this was last season. My personal experience from watching this, I would have been like, this is the worst game I've ever seen. This team's horrible. It's disgusting. I hate it. Like, what are they doing? But because this season under sort of Ange, we've seen the complete inability to control and prevent chances and strangle games, I had kind of a bit of respect for it. I watched it and I was like, they're so good at strangling teams. Like, to keep a team that, and I know Wolves had loads of injuries, but Wolves were so up for it. They were really working as hard as they possibly could. But you can't stop this Arsenal defence. They're so good. They work hard. I mean, Kirill wasn't good, to be fair, as far as the guys go. But Gabriel, like, he's such a leader. Like, he's just shouting it. There was a moment about 80 minutes in where Kirill had someone around him, and he was twice in 37, but then means that you don't have an Arsenal defender in 36 or 38. For me, is just insane.
Yeah,
it's just insane. Like they're the best defense we might have ever seen. We're getting frozen again, mate.
We're back. Don't worry, we're back.
We are back.
Yeah, I don't know why it's freezing, but we're back.
Yeah, they're the best. Probably the best defensive team we've seen in this league. So you keep them. Whether if you're going to only have one defender, whether it should be Gabriel or Saliba, I think is a question, because you're utterly reliant on the goal from Gabriel. You're utterly reliant on it. and I know he can score it, but if they do games like this when they control it and do stuff, Saliba's going to beat him every week. It's going to beat him every week on the bonus. Like he's always there or thereabouts. Like it was very, very close for a very long time between Raya and Saliba. Then, a little extra save, does enough, gets over the line. But I, if you ask me who gets, is going to be involved in the bonus for the next three, he'd probably get, or next three or four, then he probably gets that little bit more. Is Gabriel is more likely, I think, to get booked, and he's just definitely going to get less bonus than Saliba. It's a conversation, because most people are on double. In the attack side of it, obviously we saw Havertz playing the 8. He did it really well. Thought he was really good at it. But then he's not playing the 9. He got 10 minutes playing the 9. In his simple just 10 minutes of playing the 9, he almost scores.
Yeah.
And could have scored twice. So one he missed, and second one he should have been put in. So if you've got Havertz again on free hit, like that's the one that hasn't come off that most of them have got. Kind of expect him in midweek. He plays back in the number 9. When he plays the number 9, he's FPL gold. But yeah, I don't see that there's room going forward for Arsenal attack. But I think it's madness to completely go off their defence.
I mean, the defense is too good.
It's too good.
The defense is just too good. You will not find. You're not you. Yeah, I think it was which week was it? I was trying to think which week we were talking about a few weeks ago, where I was saying that an Arsenal defender is more likely to get you a clean sheet than say a double United, for example.
Yes,
clearly, and a double Chelsea. I would much rather have a Gabriel than a Thiago Silva. I'd much rather have Raya than Petrovic.
yeah,
or
and
Nana.
you don't necessarily want him in 35, like you'd think, but
Well, yeah. I mean, Tottenham are going to score 3 goals, so it's fine. You don't want them in that week.
But I mean, Gabriel in 35 is a worry.
You probably still want Saka in 35 because we always concede a penalty.
There is that too. I think a lot of people will sell Saka this week. And if he blanks midweek, like it'll be floodgates open because people will want some back. People will want Bruno. They'll want Gordon. It's coming.
So yeah, I mean, definitely, I would have Saliba above Gabriel right now. I think 100%. I mean, I actually really like having Raya in that position because it's just don't have to think about it. Obviously, if you're bench boosting, I guess if you're wildcarding then bench boosting, you'll get double keeper, right? So you're not going to go there. But
well, again, I'm just going to throw that out there on that one. Is yes, but let's go through the double keepers that you can have just quickly in our heads. So Vicario.
Yeah.
So Vicario and Petrovic, they're your double. Most people are going to have one of those two because they want to play the doubler in 35.
Yes.
And then in 37.
Yeah. And
so
then alongside them, you could have Onana, who has 2 home games, although one of them is against Arsenal. Or you could have Edison.
Yep. So you can have Edison, but then it limits you, obviously, on City players.
Yeah.
And it's a bit more expensive. But
and then Dubravka.
When Raya's at home to Bournemouth in 36, if you've got Chelsea, you've got home to West Ham. Petrovic, don't mind so much. If you're doing Vicario away to Liverpool, don't want to play that.
No.
And if you went Vicario and Onana, we just talked about it, you're away to Palace. Don't want that. So the gain you could probably get in 36, might offset what you get in 37.
Yeah, true.
And we've got the old thing with Chelsea. So Petrovic looks probably like the better one of it. But what if Sanchez is back?
Yeah. We don't know.
We don't know. Yeah, I like I say, I don't. You feel like you want to go for it on there, but maybe just Raya and Gabriel, because like if Raya and Gabriel were on your bench in 37, got the clean against Man United. Like this team could bully Man United in 37
Easy.
quite comfortably. That might be a differential.
Yeah.
Still being on double Arsenal defense.
Yeah. I mean, for me, obviously, I'm not moving anywhere.
No. And that's part of the bit of for me who's in that later wildcard bit. There's a little bit of you that just thinks this hasn't played out. Like, because the opportunity teams are Newcastle, are Man United, are Tottenham, and are Chelsea. And you're like, oh, but
all of them can be terrible.
All of them can be terrible. You have to take some, and unfortunately, because everything else hasn't paid off, you probably got to take a few wild punts on it.
Do we even know if Pope's back, for example?
It doesn't sound that way.
Okay.
But I just think Sheff, Gordon, and Isak is just way too good to go anything else.
Fair.
You know, if Trippier, everyone will go look at, but I can't face that. I can't face that.
Come on, let's move on.
But yes, move on. You choose.
We just go through Sheffield United, Burnley, and I can see obviously Sheffield United do dominate a lot of the chances here, and there's some big chances. McBurney misses a big one early on, and all this sort of stuff. But there was going to come a time where Burnley's good football was actually going to pay off, and they were going to walk over a team, and it just so happens to be a team that they're going to be playing next season as well, probably.
Yeah,
it's at their level. This is how I'm seeing it. It's one of the teams that they're playing at their level, and when they were playing against them last year, they were good, and they've got some reasonable players in there. But I mean, we're not talking about either of these teams from an FPL perspective, so I guess we should just enjoy that. Company's finally got one over.
Did you see Wilder's comments about Gerbic?
No.
So the keeper Gerbic, which is an unfortunate name for a keeper in it because it just sounds like garbage.
Yeah.
But he said, asked on garbage. He's I'm just calling garbage now.
Okay.
No, he hasn't started his United career well. We understand that. There was an opportunity to bring him here, and there was a reason why, because we weren't comfortable in that position. And let's get it right. I don't think anyone was comfortable with that position. Everyone was clamoring, and we thought because he's basically throwing the other guy,
Fotheringham.
What was his name? Fotheringham, throwing him under the bus. But yeah, obviously it's not been a great start for the big man.
I mean, what does he expect? He goes from being coached by a team that he goes from Atletico Madrid, right, where the team in front of him is coached by Diego Simeone. It's like the most
Simeone, Chris Wilder.
Exactly. It's like the most organised defensive unit you've ever seen that makes no mistakes or very little mistakes, actually knows what the hell they're supposed to be doing, and then turns up at Sheffield United where he's facing he's probably faced more shots in the games that he's played here than he ever faced in his Atletico career.
It just destroys you. It destroys you when your keeper's doing this, because it is actually they're the better team for most of this game in terms of the chance creation. But if the guy's just going to just let stuff in, then don't matter. Look, letting 4 goals of the 4 goals themselves equate to less than half an or just about half an XG, like absolute garbage. So yeah, that's a problem. I mean, they were missing Bogle. I told you Bogle was a boy.
That was it.
If Bogle was back, it would all been fine. But you look at people like this, and that's why I do think Bruno Fernandes next week is just going to pot shot at this guy.
Yeah.
Well, this week,
same week, yeah.
Yeah, this week.
Well, if he can parry it and then Højlund can finish it off, then that'd be great.
Exactly.
We've got 3 games to go. Let's talk about this one. Those 3. I mean, the game's crap, but I mean, what else is there to talk about other than Ashley Young?
The tweet. What about the tweet? We've got to talk
Oh,
about
the
the tweet.
tweet as well. The tweet's fantastic. But I mean, like,
How would you feel? How do you, like if it was your club and they tweeted it and you were the fan, of that club? How would you feel about it then? Would that
it comes across as the most childish thing that you've ever seen. But at the
yeah?
same time, you're still fuming because everything they're saying is correct. Like, because the decisions to not give at least 2 of those penalties was a joke. It was literally a joke.
It's weird.
It's very strange behaviour. It's got very much like chairman's taking control of Twitter account, or work experience kid has gone, fuck it, I'm only going to be here for 2 days. Who cares? Somebody who's already on his notice period, right, or something like that, has gone, give me the password.
Or Clatterberg, because they employ Clatterberg, don't they?
Yeah, Clattenburg. Yeah, exactly. We could explore.
I can imagine him ringing up some guy being like, "You're putting this down. Let me just. I'm gonna dictate it. Get it down. Get it down. I'm gonna be considering my options. What options, mate?
What options? You're about to get fined, so let's start there.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
But so are the challenges, and so are the decisions. They are. They're just terrible decisions.
The secret of everything's timing, but let somebody else do it first. Let somebody impartial say what on earth's gone on here, and then you jump on the back of it. I guess the problem is, it's hard because it's emotional and it's massive. Like in terms of the relegation battle, which is, it's big.
Of course.
It's big. It's big. I get it. It's sensitive,
neither of these clubs have any money, so they need money, right?
Yeah.
It's desperation times.
Funny in it that was it last week or week before we started talking about the fact that we don't see the PGMO apologies anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
We had that conversation and we don't see that. And it's almost like I'm saying is there is that bit still to keep coming out and saying, yeah, we need to get better. Like we can't magically, we should be able to, but we don't seem to be able to magically just make officiating better. We have to find ways, but there could be a little bit more honesty about that was a bit crap.
Well, did they not try to get Howard Webb on the TV on a Monday morning or something?
Oh, they started doing that, but it was just propaganda, mate. It was.
Well, of course, it was the same crap they did with Dermot Gallagher, right? And Dermot Gallagher being made like this. I don't like how they make an individual retired referee a scapegoat for every referee's decision at the weekend. I think that's horrific. But at the same time,
weird.
I think they do need to. I mean, we do want transparency, but
we know exactly what happened. It will be the VAR and the ref won't officiate next weekend, and Forest will get a fine. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
And then it'll still be crap again next week.
Yeah.
It's just but yeah, again, don't need the teams, mate. We ain't going to be going near these two. Everton, Forest, see you later. See at least probably one of you next year, but maybe not both. I think we will, though. Do you not think the three relegated teams are going to be the 3 promoted teams now?
Other way around, but yeah. 3 promoted teams are going to be the 3 relegated, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Luton, for all the will in the world, the injury is just too much.
Yeah, it's too much. I agree.
And are we conceding 4th to Villa?
No, not yet. I don't think so. I think there's still. Look, we've got tough games coming up, and somebody mentioned in the chat about whether there's going to be Tottenham chat for wildcard 35. We're going to try and arrange. We're trying to arrange something, so just keep an ear out for that.
Yes,
but I don't think we have to. I think Villa have still got who have they got still to play. I mean,
well, they haven't got as many games to play. The issue is going to be more: can we win our games rather than?
Yeah, and they've also still got Europe to consider as well.
Yeah, they have, but this is another thing. They came out and they were absolutely rubbish for the first half. They were rubbish. Bournemouth should have been miles away, comfortably the better team. They were full on hangover things, but real moment magic from the young lad Rodgers. Really good goal. That is, especially because it's in the 46th minute, completely changed everything.
Yeah,
Boom,
I didn't even realize they'd equalised. Actually,
yeah,
I I
completely changed
I looked
everything.
at I looked for FPL's last tweets, and then when the Diaby goal goes in and it went Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 1, I was like, when did they even score the first one? But
But yeah, they're they're, they're finding ways. I mean, we know with Emery, like what he did with Sevilla repeatedly in Europa, when it comes to cup finals, and this is cup finals, for Villa, it's massive, finish fourth, like it's enormous. Like so, like he will be treating every single game like a cup final to get over the line. Um, and he did that really well. And Ollie Watkins is just unbelievable. The the hold up play and the passes for both those two goals, just unreal. Like I think we'll win the Euros this summer, and I think if Kane got injured, we'd still win the Euros this summer with Ollie Watkins in the line. I mean, you could put Carl Palmer as the number nine, or Ollie Watkins as the number nine, or Kane as the number nine, but he can't do any more. Like what a season! The amount of goal involvement he has,
36. 36 goal involvements, 19 goals, 17 assists, I think it is. No?
just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, no, look, I don't want to say they've locked up fourth because we're 2 games. We've got 2 games in hand on them, and we're 6 points behind them. So I'm not going to say that. Our games are more difficult. Very true. But we'll know basically by the end of 36 whether that's going to happen. We will know.
I think just next season, what we are going to have potentially is less double game weeks. That just makes a really easy set and forget. I hope they price Ollie really difficult, like 9.5, another 9.5, 10 million pound striker, like make it difficult for us.
And
Bournemouth,
I'll say Bournemouth. I mean, just switch off from them, I guess now, because I guess those are people that are wild card and are not going to have any in there. And everyone says,
Solanke to Isak's
going
to be Solanke to Isak's going to be so popular, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you haven't got him, so popular is what it is.
Cool. Moving on. Just got the last
Great
game.
pen by Solanke though, because whenever it's a pen,
this is the one game I haven't watched any of, so I'm just trusting you to tell me.
Unbelievable pen. Really short run. Like the one thing he wouldn't do against Emmy is like a free step run up, but he does like this. He does about 20 steps without moving, and then whacks it and just blasts it top left. It was unstoppable.
Nice. And then the final game: Liverpool 3, Fulham 1. Game starved of really good opportunities, but saved by good finishes.
I mean, Fulham were really good for 1-1 going in at half time. Really good for 1 going in at half time. Diaz felt like the only sort of lively person I felt like in attack for them. It's a big drop off with no McAllister really in the middle. Trent had a free kick which he let Elliott take.
Yeah.
First one, and you were like, "What's he done?" But then for the second time this weekend, there was like moments where you were like, "Well, that can't go." Cameras were in a perfect position to show stuff. My first one was earlier, the Trossard goal. I don't know if you saw the camera work, but the camera like couldn't have been in a better position, like directly behind his foot, that showed him just punting it forward, just punting it straight forward. That was fantastic. And then this one, as soon as there, you were like, "Well, that's just a goal." Like before he hit it, before he even took it, you were like, and then as they were lining the wall up, like Neville was like, "That wall's not going to work there, mate. Like that's just not going to work." And you could sort of where it was, because the camera was right behind it. You could sort of see Leno was trying to peek around Muniz at the ball. He was like looking, and then you were like, "He's got no chance, mate. He's just going to pass that into the top corner. Literally, he's just going to pass it there."
Yeah.
It was perfect,
and he was away celebrating halfway through it.
Oh, mate,
just gone.
It felt like a penalty, didn't it? It felt like a penalty. It was that's done. But I think the interesting take for me on Liverpool is Klopp made the comments sort of embargo comments. I think we did get them before the deadline, but I certainly wasn't in a position to be looking at the comments around it. But he made this sort of comments about people like needing to forget injuries and stuff and just get on. Like, this is it. Klopp's Klopp's got no more time in this league. This is it. This is all he's got left. All loyalties are down, mate. Like, he will pick the team that he thinks he will get them, and it will be like, who is hungriest. What I really noticed was with Gakpo, who hasn't had the many chances as the others, is he was horrible. Like he was full, like he was on the Mane train of I can't see you. I don't know where you are. People were making room for him, and he was like, nah, mate, I'm shooting. I'm doing whatever I can to do it. He was like he was playing on his own, for most of it. I know he gets, the assists for the grab much one, but trust me, like normally what we see from Gakpo is that he's quite an unselfish player. He was like, I've got a chance here to start. I'm going to do everything I can for it. And that's just a problem. And Jota's a problem because he's the best finisher in the club. So he's going to want. Like, how do you not play Jota? How does he not play Jota in midweek?
Yeah.
You play Jota. You play Jota as much as you can play Jota. You play Jota as many minutes as you can play it, and then you just let.
And then you just let Darwin loose against tired defenses and just hope he just barrels something in somewhere. No, I agree. And Jota's.
Oh, and Darwin could have had a hat trick in 20 minutes was there. But what happened with the hat trick? He was offside, and then he was offside, and then he didn't get to the last one from Mo. like that's the problem. That's the problem. Jota's just got so much class. He'll play him whenever he possibly can. Even on, like, when you look at if you don't have Mo on wildcard, we take Mo out this week. People will take Mo out, for example. People take Mo out for Son. Suddenly have some surplus money. People will take Mo out for Bruno, for example. All of those type of players. There's some money sloshing about potentially. Trippier's not that hard to afford. But if you ask me, potentially could Trent maybe outscore the likes of a Trippier over the next few game weeks and be a big option?
I think we need to see what happens in the midweek, right? We need to see if Trent starts because we know Trent's ability from an attacking sense, but Liverpool still aren't keeping any cleans. And
they're not keeping any cleans.
That still concerns me, given that they don't have any doubles left. So so it isn't like a 4-point baseline for a 4-point floor for just appearances, and then you get upside from assists and what have you. Your floor's 2, and if he gets an attacking return, whether it be an assist or a goal, then great. But they're just not keeping cleans. So if he plays Gomez, I mean, I can't see him playing Gomez against Everton in the week. I think he will start with Trent, but he obviously brings him off for Gomez this week.
You'd unlikely, even if you brought him in, especially on wildcard, you might not play him in 35 anyway, because you've got Newcastle defence, home to Sheffield United, and then you've got, say, Gusto and Porro. But let's just say Porro's injured, and he doesn't make. So latest is the sort of hopeful for the weekend. But let's say he doesn't. Like, whether you went to a Romero or Van der Ven, or whether I went Trent and went, well, West Ham just looked appalling in 35. Then in 36, he's home to us. Trent putting in those corners that we've been seeing against us. He's then got Villa, again, really leaky against the set piece all season. And then he's home to Wolves, who are literally crawling over the line to the end of the season with no players. There's a couple of double digits. I feel like there's a couple of double digits there in the Trent one. It's, if you look in, you're chasing, and nobody's getting there with them. Like, people aren't probably looking at doing it. I still think it's one.
I mean, you've got
one that's out there.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you've got if you're dropping Salah, then fine. I think you can. I think if you're not, then I think your money's going to be tied up in defence if you have one Arsenal one City, a Newcastle, a Tottenham. These aren't cheap players, right? So if you go Vardiol, I guess you're something like 5. Porro's like 5'8". Gabriel Saliba you probably have at like 5'5", and they're not cheap. And I guess you're trying to sort of fill it out with Garnacho and Palmer and stuff. But
Well, I think the midfield 5, the template midfield 5 will be Bruno, Son, Foden, Gordon, and
Palmer.
Isak, Jackson, and Haaland up top.
Yeah.
That's what it will be, providing Isak doesn't get booked.
Yeah.
They're like your front 8. They're all okay priced, but they're not expensive priced. You've still got a bit of money to buck around with at the back. You still got some money. And especially, it depends on your keepers as well. Like if you go in Edison, then it's not. If you go Edison, then you can't have obviously Ivardio's in that world. You can got to work through which ones you can have. Where's that third City but going to be? Shares not cheap now. 5.6 share is now. I can see some people doing Burn, for example, and then you get a bit more money. Yeah, I think
someone saying KDB instead of Bruno. Like
KDB instead of Bruno. Yep. A KDB, a Trent, like what I'm saying is somebody there that can just do these big things. Maybe it's out there.
Maybe.
But bar that on Liverpool, I think they're really hard to trust because I just think Klopp's now like whoever's going to, we won't see it because it's going to be literally, he's going to be there at training and be literally looking him in the eye and going, "Oh, the Tiger, you, yes." That's how he's going to go out on this because they've got to win everything because Arsenal strangled them, City. They've got to go toe to toe.
Who do you think is going to get there? I don't think we really talked about like general football stuff. Who do you think is going to get there?
I still just want City to get it. I had this conversation, so I can't remember saying that. It's conversation at the golf day, but I was like, I don't know any City fans that are going to annoy me. Like, I know lots that will annoy me for the other two, in that sense. And obviously, as well, we definitely don't want to. Oh, look, I wouldn't begrudge Klopp getting it. I really wouldn't at all as a final way of playing. You also, when I've just watched the teams this weekend, you're like, I don't really want to watch the team that strangles their way to it. Don't want that. I wouldn't want that. If I was a neutral, complete neutral of it, I'd still want a Liverpool or City to do it because I still think they're the teams that I'm gonna enjoy watching more.
It's weird that they've sort of almost reverted into this ridiculous defensive unit. Park the bus. It's park the bus. It's basically it's
Arteta's always been that way. He's always been that way. Even when it was bad, he would revert to strangle games. The difference now is they're so good that even when they strangle games, they still somehow could have done 2-3. In the last, it's 1-0. The Wolves were just like trying to attack them, and the more they tried, the more chances Arsenal were getting at the end.
Yeah.
So they were like, Wolves just didn't know where to go. Wolves were like, well, okay, we're losing 1-0. That's not too bad. We're not too bad. We haven't got many players. Gary Neville said at the end, I was really proud of my team. Yeah, but in the last 10 minutes, that turns to, should I have a go? Yeah, let's have a, chance. It could have finished 4-0. And again, you'd have just gone, oh, yeah, everyone says we're boring, but we won 4-0 because that happens every week. But they're just good. But City, I'm all in on City.
All in on City. Okay, love it. I'm not fussed between City and Liverpool as long as it's not Arsenal. I genuinely just don't care. Other than just not Arsenal, please. That would be great. Okay, cool. I think we're there. Thankfully, because I'm knackered. I'm exhausted. We do have to apologise for yesterday. Genuinely, the stream, although I tweeted like early in the morning, the stream on Saturday was dead when we turned up at the hotel, because when we turned up at the hotel, we logged into the Wi-Fi, checked the upload. It was like 0.4 megabits per second upload, and I was like, well, this is 10 times worse than even my Wi-Fi here. So we were never going to be able to do it. And then the motivation just disappeared after that to even try.
We bought, so you know, I literally bought a little suitcase with that much stuff. It was quite cool. I mean, it made me feel like we were like actual professional outfit. I was like, oh, we've got that,
Mate,
we've got this, we've got lights,
so
got
you'll
this, got this.
notice that something's not behind me, right? So I've left it in the car because I took it down, so it'd be part of the backdrop for in the hotel.
The FCA Bronze Award,
which I almost left behind. Which you almost left
hotel.
behind. But yeah, no, we were definitely committed to doing it. But as soon as we got there, it became very apparent that it wasn't going to happen. So we'll try again in September. We'll try again in September and see how that works. We might have a bit more time in September, I think, because we won't be so.
We'll ask the right questions. We'll ask the questions. By the way, what's your upload speed?
Yeah, that is exactly right.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? Like I sort of knew it when I drove in, because I arrived Thursday night like at 9 o'clock, and there was no lights anywhere. I was like, this is the most pitch black. I went over that little bridge and I was like, I think there's water under here, but I can't see it. You know, but as soon as we got there, I was like, oh, a hotel in a golf course is obviously just miles away from anything anywhere.
Yeah.
So the internet's always crappy.
Yeah, true.
We should have realised it. We should have realised it.
Done.
But we'll learn.
We will learn. My homie's asking, did anyone surprise you at the golf day?
Did anyone surprise me?
I mean,
we had a guy get told off for doing backflips on a dance floor.
That was quite surprising.
Called Maggot. That was.
Yeah.
I mean, the story of why he's called Maggot was probably the bit that
I still don't know that story. I'll ask him. That's not our story. It's not our story to tell. So your story to tell.
It's not our story to tell.
But no, as I say, that was a fun weekend. I've seen so John Peake, who came second, he changed his YouTube name from Come On You Spurs COYS to FPL Bandit. There he is in the chat today. He said even Bournemouth getting penalties when the Spurs get one. Like, who knows, man? Who knows?
We don't do the stuff to get it.
No, that's also true. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. As we said, we've got potentially a Spurs related audio pod coming up in the week. Just need to confirm that. So listen out. That will be audio only.
What that means when you say audio only is because
I'm not there.
You're not there and you press all the buttons.
I press all the buttons. Yeah, so audio only means I'm not there. And I'm on with Ryan, which is Football Chat Box on Wednesday. So that's coming up. And then Thursday, team selection.
Wildcard selection. So we'll probably have to get ourselves another wildcard guest, otherwise.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not going to be able to help you too much, but I'm just going to sit there and cry at all the good players.
You'll be sitting there really angry.
I'm going to get this guy. Okay, good.
Oh yeah, you'll be really angry because we'll be putting triple Man United in our team and triple Tottenham in our team and triple Chelsea in our team. Can't wait to take out all these Arsenal and Liverpool
I've already
players.
got double Man United.
Head of the game, mate.
I'm so far behind. I'm ahead. That's how I was with Alvarez. Cool. When's the next live stream? Probably Thursday.
Second half of the Man City Brighton game.
Is that what it is?
Mm.
We'll be there. With their golf skills. My homie says. Sorry, last thing. Anyone surprised with their golf skills? So I played with Andy Goodland, who's a pro. So it came as no surprise to me that he was very good at hitting golf balls.
I played with Yogesh. What's his handle?
Yogesh Jali. That is a great question. I can find that actually.
He plays on 4. I've never seen a man off the tee strike the ball as well as that ever. I don't think he'll mind me saying he's off the tee. He's comfortably a scratch golfer. Well, you know, one hole, as I said, was 442 yards and he had 90 yards in.
Big.
That was That was pretty big. That was pretty big. So yeah, that was special.
Yeah. And I also play with Andy. Like it sounds like I'm giving him shit here. I also play with Andy Mack, who's in the chat, and who hits the ball ridiculously hard. And we've got a wonderful video of him topping it off the first tee, which is great. But honestly, it hits it absolutely miles. Hits it absolutely
miles.
Hits it absolutely miles as well.
I don't know why he's not called FPL Big Mac, because he is big.
Yeah, he is a big guy as well. No,
Big
but everyone was great. Everyone was absolutely brilliant, and we really enjoyed it. Looking forward to September. So if you want to get involved, link in the description. Fill in the form. I will include you on the emails, basically. And let us know how you got on with Game Week 34 so far. I will.
Mate, when we wake up tomorrow morning, the comments are just gonna be, "I'm on free hit. I'm on 90 points. I'm on free hit. I'm on 80 odd points.
I was about to say I'm not going to read any of them. I might hit a few likes, but just keep sharing the good stuff. Be positive about it, because I am fully negative right now, and it is what it is.
Shout out to our friend Ivan, 83. He's on.
Decent.
83.
This is what happens when you don't know what your rank is and you just make good decisions.
Yeah. I said to him earlier, I was like, Ivan, you're on 40 points more than me, and I'm on basically a grey arrow. And he just said, "What's an arrow?" And I was like, you got me good. You got me good there. What a man.
What's an arrow?
What's an arrow? 83 points. What a man. Love him.
Right. Mate, we're out. We're done.
We're out. Done. Go.
We'll see you later.
See you later.